Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu Coffee Break German. Welcome to another Coffee Break German live. We are live today. We are basically broadcasting a live lesson every day this week, Monday to Thursday, because we are giving you a sample of what it's like to be part of the Coffee Break Club. Let me just bring up my slides because I need to make sure that we are on the right slide. Give me 1 second here. There we go. Just coming back to the start of these slides. Apologies for this. There we go. So spring forward with your language learning. This is our spring promotion, and you can see from the very bright yellow t-shirt, we're in a spring mood here in Coffee Break. Now, obviously, it's not spring everywhere in the world, but probably if you're watching this, it is springtime. But it depends where you are, obviously. We are doing 4 days with 4 live workshops, giving you the chance to practice your language skills in a variety of ways and giving you a chance, as I said, to experience the club. So let's see who we've got joining us today. We've got Jim. Guten Tag, Jim. You're very welcome here. Juanita joining us from California. Wow, you're up early, Juanita. Vielen Dank. Daniel's saying shalom from Israel. Hello. Luen is joining us in Heidelberg, beautiful part of the world. DeMarco's watching from Germany. Denise is still recovering from Piabinois in French. So we've just done a French broadcast and now we're straight into German. I hope you appreciate the change in t-shirt, Denise. Marta is saying Guten Tag aus dem sonnigen London. Good to know it's sunny in London. Sandra's in Malta. And Sarah is in Hamburg. Fantastic. It's good to have you all here. Today we're going to be doing some reading. We are basically going to be working through a reading text together. And this text is brought to us by Olivera. Now, as you know, I am a learner in Coffee Break German, so I'm looking forward to learning something with Olivera today in this reading text. And as I said, this is part of our Coffee Break Club materials. And the Coffee Break Club is basically an on-demand video platform. And when we were looking around at the kind of content that is out there, we're thinking about the types of materials that are available for learners. So if we're thinking about learning with video content, then of course we could be using, I'm just going to skip through that, we could be using YouTube and trying to find useful videos on YouTube. But sometimes trying to find useful videos is a little bit tricky because there's just so much content there, and there's not often the kind of content that we can work through in a progressive way. Of course, if we're just looking for entertainment, then we can look towards Netflix or Prime or Hulu or any sort of the streaming video content. But that tends to be more for entertainment as opposed to for learning. But what we were thinking about is this idea of there are many fitness apps and fitness libraries of content out there. I'm thinking of things like Peloton or Apple Fitness Plus, where you've got video classes and you can take part in these classes and train yourself basically to get fit. So what we thought was, why not take that idea and put it into the context of a language video library? And that's exactly what we've done with the Coffee Break Club. It's an on-demand library of video lessons where you've got hundreds of video lessons with expert teachers, varied activities, and there is a web platform and an app version of the Coffee Break Club too. So we're going to experience a little bit of this. Obviously, yesterday we've also experienced some learning with our Wo bin ich heute video when Thomas was in a mystery location. I think he ended up in, well, actually Olivera was in the mystery location and it was Thomas that was trying to solve that mystery. Today we're with Olivera for a reading text. So I think we should get on with it just now. What I would say is that if you are when you're watching this, if you've got a question, then please post the question in the comments and we'll do our best to answer that question. And if it's a German question, then I'm hoping Olivera can help us. Hopefully you're not relying on me for the German questions. Right, let's get on with this. I hope that we are ready. Also, los geht's!
Hallo und herzlich willkommen zum Club. I am Olivera and I have another discovery video for you today. Wir gehen also auf Entdeckungsreise. Also, fangen wir gleich an. Also, unser heutiger Text heißt Liebe auf den ersten Ton. Na, da bin ich aber mal gespannt. Let's find out what the text is about. Mickey und Minnie Maus sind zwei der berühmtesten Figuren der Welt. Sie waren eines der ersten Paare auf der großen Leinwand. Aber wusstest du, dass Mickeys Synchronsprecher und Minnies Synchronsprecherin im echten Leben geheiratet haben? Das Paar hat sich während der Synchronarbeiten für ihre Charaktere kennengelernt. Genau wie Mickey und Minnie haben sie sich verliebt und geheiratet. Manchmal imitiert das Leben wirklich die Kunst. What a lovely text. Das gefällt mir. Okay, now it's time to take a look at the whole text in more detail. So we'll go through it sentence by sentence. Also los geht's. Mickey und Minnie Maus sind zwei der berühmtesten Figuren der Welt. Okay, so here we've got a text about Mickey und Minnie Maus, which is the same in English, sind zwei der berühmtesten Figuren der Welt. So this means Mickey and Minnie Mouse are two of the most famous, die berühmtesten, Figuren der Welt. So the most famous characters in the world. You might be able to spot we've got the genitive in here, actually twice even, because we're saying zwei der berühmtesten Figuren, so that means two of the most famous characters. So that's the genitive right there. And then we're using it again, saying der Welt. Because in German we don't say in the world, we say of the world. So we have the two of the most famous characters of the world. So twice the genitive. Sie waren eines der ersten Paare auf der großen Leinwand. So here we have sie waren, which is the imperfect tense. So waren is the imperfect of sein, to be. So they were. And then we have the genitive again. Eines der ersten Paare. So that means one of the first couples. Auf der großen Leinwand. And then here we have the dative case. We're saying on the big screen, and we're using auf with the dative case. So here it's die Leinwand or die große Leinwand, but that turns into auf der großen Leinwand because we're using auf with the dative. Alles klar, let's continue. Aber wusstest du, dass Mickeys Synchronsprecher und Minnies Synchronsprecherin im echten Leben geheiratet haben? Alles klar, so we have a question here, and it starts with aber wusstest du, meaning but did you know? So this is the imperfect tense again of wissen, to know. We have wusstest du, did you know? And then we have a das clause here. And as you might know, the das sends the conjugated verb, in this case haben, to the very end of the clause, even in a question. So here we have that Mickey's voice actor, which is Synchronsprecher in German, und Minnies Synchronsprecherin, which is the female form of that noun. So Mickey's voice actor and Minnie's voice actress. Also note here that in German we don't have the apostrophe for the possessive S as we do in English. And then we say, so that Mickey's voice actor and Minnie's voice actress im echten Leben, so in real life, using the dative again, geheiratet haben. And here we're just using the perfect tense of heiraten, to get married or to marry. And we're using it with haben because it's a regular verb. Alles klar, machen wir weiter. Das Paar hat sich während der Synchronarbeiten für ihre Charaktere kennengelernt. Okay, we have quite a tricky verb in here, so let's translate the sentence first and then look at the grammar behind it. So we're saying the couple met during the voice work for their characters. Also, wir haben das Paar, the couple, and then we have the verb sich kennenlernen, which is a reflexive verb, but it's also a separable verb, and we're using it in the perfect tense here, so it's quite tricky. We're using it with the auxiliary verb haben, so das Paar hat sich, because it's a reflexive verb, and sich is the reflexive pronoun. And then at the end of the sentence, we have the last part of this verb, kennengelernt, met. And you can see that the verb is separable here because the ge part is in the middle of kennen and lernen. So kennen, gelernt. And that piece of information that's between the first and the second part of the verb is während der Synchronarbeiten. So here we're using während, which is a preposition using the genitive again. So we have die Synchronarbeiten, which turns into während der Synchronarbeiten in the genitive. Für ihre Charaktere, which is in the accusative, for their characters. Okay, phew, quite tricky, but let's move on. Genau wie Mickey und Minnie haben sie sich verliebt und geheiratet. Now we have another reflexive verb here, but don't worry, it's not separable, it's a lot easier to handle. So it says, genau wie Mickey und Minnie, just like Mickey and Minnie, haben sie sich verliebt. They fell in love, because sich verlieben is the verb for to fall in love. Und geheiratet. And here we are basically using the perfect tense again for both verbs, but because they're in the same part of the sentence, we don't have to use the auxiliary verb haben again, because it's just kind of implied that we're using it for both. So, haben sich verliebt und haben geheiratet. But here we're just leaving out the second haben. And then the last sentence is, manchmal imitiert das Leben wirklich die Kunst. Sometimes life really imitates art. Und das war's. That's the whole text. So, I hope that you enjoyed reading this and that you've also learned lots of new German grammar and vocabulary. Also, now that we have such a good grasp of the text, let's read through it again one last time together. Also, los geht's! Mickey und Minnie Maus sind zwei der berühmtesten Figuren der Welt. Sie waren eines der ersten Paare auf der großen Leinwand. Aber wusstest du, dass Mickeys Synchronsprecher und Minnies Synchronsprecherin im echten Leben geheiratet haben? Das Paar hat sich während der Synchronarbeiten für ihre Charaktere kennengelernt. Genau wie Mickey und Minnie haben sie sich verliebt und geheiratet. Manchmal imitiert das Leben wirklich die Kunst. Das war's für heute. Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen and I hope that you learned something new and exciting. Also bis dann und happy coffee breaking!
Also vielen Dank, Olivera. Thank you so much. I think it's great when not only do you learn some German, but you also learn something about the world in these videos, because that's the whole point of our discovery videos, where you're learning a little something about the world, something you didn't know, but also finding out really useful information about the German language and improving your vocabulary and your understanding of grammar. And just thinking about some of those words in that video, Synchronsprecher, that's completely new to me, a voiceover actor. There were lots of imperfects or Präteritum in there we were able to see, and also different ways of using cases. So we had some genitives and datives, im echten Leben, in real life, in the real life. And what else did we have? Während der Synchronarbeiten, so during their voiceover work. There was a lovely sentence with the tricky verb, as Olivera explained it. Sich kennenlernen, so to get to know each other, I think that's right. And das Paar hat sich kennengelernt. So the g goes in there because we're using a perfect, and of course it's separable. It's all pretty tricky stuff. We also had a lovely sentence at the end there. Manchmal imitiert das Leben wirklich die Kunst. So sometimes art really does imitate, or life really does imitate art, the other way around. So this, as I said, was a discovery video from our club. And if you enjoyed it, let us know in the comments. What I'd really like to know is there something in this video that you've learned today? Is there something that you didn't know, or perhaps something that you did know, but it's a while since you've thought about it? And just by watching this video, you were able to remember that, or you were able to review that in your mind. Because that's what it's all about, doing little bits of learning. And I think when we see a text, but then get the explanation of that text within the video itself, I think that's really, really useful. So do let me know in the comments what you enjoyed, what you learned in the video. I'll take the opportunity to explain a little more about the Coffee Break Club. As I said, it's an on-demand library of video lessons. And if we take a look at what that actually looks like, here we have it, and we can scroll down the Coffee Break Club. This is the web platform. We also have an app version which you can use and access all of the material on your device. If we scroll down to the Coffee Break German videos and click on See All, then you'll see here that we've got a whole range of videos, a complete library of German videos with more discovery videos like the one you've just seen, with dictation videos we've got in German too. We've got the coffee break with, so here's me and Olivera in the studio. We've got vocabulary videos, reading content, and then our SIP videos. Now, SIP stands for Study, Investigation and Practice, and we like to learn a language sip by sip here at Coffee Break, of course. And study is when we look at a particular aspect of the language, a particular aspect of grammar, and then we investigate that further and then practice it together with some translations or some comprehension challenges. So there's lots of different types of content, and that keeps going. It's like a never-ending library of content there, and all of that available for German learners in the club. But the good thing about the club is that it's not just the German materials, you also get access to the French, Italian and Spanish materials too. So there is a monthly cost for this. It's $19.99 per month. And that, if you, for example, stayed for the whole year, that would be £234. Now we're offering 30% off the first month. So I will just say those things, say those figures again, because that's not quite right. The monthly cost is $19.99, so about $20. If you stayed for a year, it would be $240. But we're giving you 30% off your first month, so that's bringing your first month cost down to $13.99, meaning that your total year cost would be $234. However, you can cancel at any time, so you can sign up for 1 month. If it's not quite right for you, then you can cancel and you can come back to it at a later stage. We also offer a quarterly option, and that's $44.99 per quarter. And again, there's 30% off that first quarter. So if you stayed for a whole year, your total cost there would be $166.50. And again, you can cancel at any time, but if you subscribe for a quarter, you pay your first quarterly payment of $44, then with 30% off that, don't ask me to do that in my head, it's about $31 or something like that, I'm not quite sure. And that means that you can cancel at any time, but you would still have access for the whole of that quarter. And yesterday, when we did this sample lesson from our club, we got lots of questions about an annual option. So we have decided today to introduce an annual option for the club. And that means that we are offering access to all of the club materials, every single video in the library of the club materials, for $199.99 per year, so $200 per year. And again, there's 30% off that this week. So you can save 30% and just pay $140. So that's roughly about £112 in the UK, or $140 for a full year's access to all of this material. And we're adding to that all the time. So it's a fantastic offer if you are interested in taking up that offer today. So as I said, you can save 30% on your first month or your first quarter, or indeed your first year. You can cancel any time. Simply go to coffeebreaktv.com. I'll put that up on the screen, and you will be able to access everything there. Just click on the sign up button and you have got the options to go for monthly, quarterly or yearly. So let us come back to your comments. some comments here. Denise saying, enjoyed it all except the music, glad it's being removed. Yeah, just to explain about the music, we've had some comments from Club Mic members. Some love the music, some don't love the music. So we are going to be removing the music from our discovery videos by popular demand. So we're going to be adding that to the club without the music in there. So thanks for that, Denise. Jim said, der Synchronsprecher. I've been training for voice acting, enjoying learning the new word. Ausgezeichnet, Jim. Ines is saying, I like the reminder that während also uses genitive. Thank you. And Sarah is saying, so helpful to see the words on screen while hearing Olivera at the same time. Exactly. It's so much more than if you're listening to something and you've got to work out how the words are written. I have to be honest, when I'm listening to German, I find it really tricky to imagine exactly how every word is written, because for me, I'm a visual learner. That helps me understand how the language works, how the words are put together and what it all means. Okay, so as I said, we've got those three options, $19.99 a month, or $44.99 a quarter, or $199 per year. Again, with 30% off this week. And the code SPRING30, that runs out on Sunday night. So it's just this week that we're offering this special offer for our Spring Forward promotion. Now, we will be springing forward further. Today we've been springing forward and discovering the world. Tomorrow we're going to be doing some translation tests. So we'll be testing your translation skills. We're joined again by Olivera tomorrow for a translation challenge. And that is taking place, if I remember correctly, at 4:30 UK time, 11:30 a.m. So join us then. And again, the whole idea is that we're trying to help you see that doing a little bit of learning each day of the week really, really helps. And imagine being able to do that every day of the year with a new video in the Coffee Break Club. That's what's on offer today. I would like to thank you very much for joining us today. Vielen, vielen Dank. Vielen Dank, Olivera. Vielen Dank, all of you. And I hope that you've enjoyed this. If you do have any questions, don't hesitate to get in touch. Just a couple of questions there. Chris is saying, I appreciate learning about new things and places in addition to improving my language skills. Well done. Vielen Dank, Chris. And Chris, also thank you for upgrading your membership to a year-long membership. I should also say that anyone else who has an existing quarterly or monthly subscription can upgrade to a yearly membership. Simply go to your subscriptions in the club membership area. And in there, you can upgrade to a yearly membership and use that SPRING30 coupon code to get 30% off. Denise is saying, don't be hard on yourself. You're doing very well with Die Zwillinge in CBG3. That's our story that we're currently working through with Coffee Break German Season 3. Yes, there are some tricky German sentences in there, but I'm glad Thomas is with us to help us understand everything. Also, vielen Dank nochmal. Thank you once again. I hope that you've enjoyed this. We'll be back tomorrow with another lesson. For now, I better go and get organised because we are about to start our Spanish lesson at 3 o'clock UK time, 10 o'clock Eastern, and 7 o'clock in the morning if you're with us in California, in the West Coast, USA, anywhere up the West Coast. Thanks again and tschüss. Bis zum nächsten Mal.